don't be alarmed by this statement, but the Buffalo Bills are your 2023 Super Bowl champs. How do they get there? How do they make that headline become a reality, B? What are they missing? They've got the talent. They've got Josh Allen at quarterback. They've got Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. Their defense is stacked. We just looked at the roster right before this. What are they missing?
They're missing a solid run game, which I'm hoping for fantasy football wise, James Cook will be that guy that's the 3-down back. Feed him the ball. The running game, they help out the passing game, they help out Allen, blah blah blah. Also, they have blah blah blah. They have so much talent too, which is tough. So Von Miller tore his ACL, I think it was, right? Towards I think the middle of last season or middle to the end, something like that. Which really hindered that team. I really wonder what would have happened with that 2022-2023 Bills team if Von Miller did not get hurt. Hopefully he comes back this season healthy and they're able to finish a strong season. He can stay healthy. Other than that, dude, just win the big games. That's the only thing. Execute in the big games, the big moments, and just get it done because they have all the pieces there. I can't sit here and tell you, oh, they need this guy, they need a guy here, blah blah blah. They have a top 3 quarterback. They have a top 5 receiver. Their O-line's solid. Their defense is good. They have one of the best edge rushers ever playing for them right now. Just get it done. I don't know what else to really say. What do you think?
It's kind of funny when you start to. I had the depth chart pulled up right here. It's kind of funny to see here and look at just the depth of talent on this team. There's some names on here that really surprised me. Apparently, Latavius Murray's still on the team. He's their third string back right now.
Is he really?
It's
random.
I know that's what I'm seeing here. And if we're Buffalo Bills fans, if we're wrong, please let us know. But I pulled up the depth chart and that's what it says. And Latavius Murray is the third string back. They have Keyshawn Johnson on the team still. Shane Ray, do you remember Shane Ray he was drafted by the Denver Broncos? Apparently he's their fourth string defensive end. AJ Klein is on the team still. I know it's kind of. Here's what I didn't realize: Tyler Rapp, he was the Rams starting safety the past few years.
Safety.
Yep, he's now their backup strong safety. So it just kind of goes to show how deep this team really is. And we were kind of thinking about this of what do they need to fix? Is it a defensive issue? Is it a run game issue? I know we talked about the run game a little bit, and I wanted to mention something about the defense. But the more I look at the defense, it just doesn't seem like an issue to me at all. They got Greg Rousseau, I believe that's how you say his last name, who's solid. Ed Oliver's a beast.
I would say his last name. Yeah.
They got Daquan Jones. They have Von Miller still. They just signed Leonard Floyd. Shaq Lawson, Jordan. I know I'm just kind of saying Yeah, they just drafted AJ. Oh gosh, Epenesa.
Yeah.
Epenesa?
Yeah, he's second. I think he's on second team right now. Edge.
Yeah, he's the guy out of Army, right? The defensive end. He was supposed to be solid. So. You have Matt Milano, who's one of the best linebackers in the NFL. You have Tre'Davious White, who's a great corner.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Yeah, you have Tre'Davious White.
AJ.
Oh, yes, he went to Iowa. That's what it was. Defensive end of Iowa. Yeah, great dude.
So they have talent over the fucking board.
Yeah, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. Again, they have talent all across the board. I think it really is a matter of they need to improve their run game. And it sounds so ridiculously simple to say that. But you got to think of what that run game does for Josh Allen and the Bills. Sets a play action, obviously. But we've currently seen, and again, Bills fans can jump in our comments and yell at us and stuff. But when Josh Allen throws the ball too much, he has those 50 attempt games, he becomes much more turnover prone. You need to be able to protect him by being able to not always have to rely on him to get the first down for it. If it's third and short, you have a back that can get that first down versus having to always expect him to throw for it. It also helps, when you're playing a Patrick Mahomes, as you inevitably are going to have to do again once you get to the playoffs, it helps keep Patrick Mahomes off the field and helps with clock management, helps control the clock and protect. You're not going to have another one of those he got down the field in 13-second kind of plays, which side tangent, just a little side tangent. I really hate how much people sit here and look at that and go, oh, that was look, Patrick Mahomes can score in 13 seconds. Well, let's call it what it really was. First of all, great play calling by Andy Reid. Second of all, what the fuck was the Buffalo Bills defense doing? I think it was the first play.
Yeah.
It was essentially just, oh my gosh, I'm gonna blank on it now. It was a pass, I think, to the running back. No, it was a screen to Tyreek Hill. That's what it was. It was a screen to Tyreek Hill. And the Bills defense were all playing off coverage, which again makes sense because you're just trying not to give up too much. But you got to treat it like a regular play because they need a field goal. So they don't need to cover the whole field. You can't be playing cover. Oh my gosh, what's it called? Not quarters. What's
like prevent?
Yeah, you can't be playing prevent. You got to still, treat it closer to a regular play.
Yeah.
Which I think it was on that first play they picked up 20 yards. Then the second play they hit just a seam to Travis Kelce, which got him right into field goal range. So I mean, it wasn't anything Patrick Mahomes did that was special. It was kind of more faulty play calling on the defense and great play calling by Andy Reid. But it wasn't like Mahomes did something special out there. Okay, so that's the end of my tangent and my rant. But it's just every time I see that, it's always like, oh, he scored in 13 seconds. I'm like, he didn't really do it. I mean, great play calling, and then what was Buffalo doing?
Yeah, it was a great effort, and then also this prevent defense for the Bills. Like, this gave him so much cushion. It was kind of easy.
Yeah, exactly. You can't, you only had like 50 yards to play with. I mean, you can't give up a 20-yard screen and then a 20-yard, seam. Like, you need to treat it like regular defense. I can understand maybe going with a quarters coverage because you don't want to get beat over the top, obviously. But you still got to have, your linebackers there to keep a screen at a 6-yard gain and not a 20-yard gain. Or, a seam, someone to cover and take away the seam still. But, all right, so now I promise my tangent, my rant is over. Buffalo, you need to get a run game. So there's not 13 seconds left in the clock. And the defense needs to be play calling. Maybe that's also what needs to be improved. So some better defensive play calling. Because I remember, what was it, this past offseason, playoffs, I think it was they were playing the Dolphins. And that game seemed much closer than it probably should have ever been. Because they were running with their fourth-string quarterback, Skylar Thompson. And with how much talent Buffalo had, that game should never have been close. But I think if I remember correctly,
it was like a one-score game, right? It was like less than 7, right? Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you pull the stats from that game? Just because I remember just thinking like, why is they're going to lose this game? Why is Josh Allen keep throwing these ridiculous interceptions? It just kind of all goes back to it. You need to have that run game insulated to insulate Josh Allen to help protect him. And especially because they use him as the lead back sometimes. They run Josh Allen so much. And it's like you want to be able to rely on Josh Allen to be able to scramble and take off and an occasional catch him off quarterback power kind of a thing, and not have to use him as your lead back every time. You're a better run game also protects him from injury in this case as well.
Yeah, but I feel like obviously Josh Allen top 3 quarterback. But I feel like sometimes they rely on him to be like the hero too much.
Yeah,
like
he's
so
Superman.
Much. A guy can only take so much weight. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like at times maybe he just, to your point with him throwing picks, like maybe he just feels like he has to force stuff to get the offense moving because it's just him and he's him in the passing game, and then he's a really good rushing threat. So maybe he's getting James Cook going. Hines is out for the rest of the season, I think, right? I think he just hurt his knee or his back. So he was the backup running back. I'm not sure who else they have. But, yeah, to your point, they have to get the running game going somehow. That's not just only Josh Allen.
So, again, I'm pretty sure this is accurate because they have AJ on here, so it has to be pretty accurate. Oh, they also have Puna Ford on here. I just saw that. Remember him? Their backup running back is Damian Harris too. So
from the Patriots? Yeah.
So they have, again, we're assuming this is accurate and up to date. Please don't kill us if we're wrong. I saw people get really sensitive about that for some reason.
They get so mad at us. It's like, I'm sorry.
like we did this to them. Anyway. Jesus. Anyway, so they have some decent running back depth, but it is kind of baffling the fact that they have not been able to get this figured out yet. Just a hypothetical situation that obviously didn't play out. But what's 2 first-round picks to this team? I mean, why not sit here and offer Saquon? Imagine what Saquon could do for this team if he was here.
Yeah. Would it be pointless to bring in Dalvin Cook?
Oh, I don't think it'd be pointless. I think he would potentially improve the run game, but again, we haven't watched much of James Cook, and I think he's just going into his second year, correct?
I think he was rookie last year. Yeah.
So we don't know what he can become. And Dalvin Cook, as we kind of discussed, while he had a great last year, his explosive numbers seem to be down. And so it kind of suggested to us that he might be maybe not on the decline, but he was maybe more set up by a good offensive line that made it a little bit easier for him. Think Josh, no, that could be an improvement for them. Again, it's just kind of what I'm talking about. Like, what's 2 first-round picks to this team? Why not sit here and call Las Vegas and say, hey, we'll give you 2 firsts, and we'll pay Josh Jacobs the 14 or 15 million, whatever it is that you wanted. Granted, is that a great long-term strategy? No, probably not. But you need something to get over the hump, or else you're in this perpetual, almost Super Bowl window, which we've seen with Buffalo before, going 0-4 and 4 straight Super Bowls. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, again, that's why I kind of wonder, like, why not just make that call, make that splash move to fix what's kind of essentially your only deficiency on this entire team.
Yeah, I feel like they have to make some sort of splash, what you were saying, because, I mean, it's not like the rest of the comp in the AFC is going to get worse anytime soon.
Yeah.
Mahomes young, Burrow is young, Lamar Jackson's still there,
yep.
And then we'll talk about a team later who might be around for a while too, who also has a younger quarterback. I'm not going to spoil it yet, but
and we're talking about the whole conference right there, but you need to think about the whole AFC as itself too. I mean, you have the Dolphins who are getting better. You have the Jets who just got Aaron Rodgers and are getting better, it seems, every year. I mean, they just had the offensive and defensive rookie of the years. You have the Patriots who, the Patriots.
Coach Billy there, and that's pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like, even within their own, their own little division there, they at any point they could be slipping and falling back. Yeah. All the other teams are not winning; they're getting better every year. So why not just make that big move to really just solidify that and get over the hump?
Yeah, I really wish they were able to get Hopkins. I feel like that would have helped this team a lot too. It's just unfortunate that they couldn't agree on price. What it seems like from the outside in. Again, Bills fans, don't kill me if I'm wrong about that, but it seemed like Hopkins didn't like the price tag, what they offered him. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of wonder how much it really would have made a big difference for the team, because I mean, Gabe Davis is no slouch. I mean, he's their deep threat. He makes spectacular catches for them all the time. It seems like every highlight you see, it's more likely Stephon Diggs, but I mean, half of them have to be Gabe Davis just toe tapping the sideline in the end zone.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a great number 2. He doesn't get the recognition he should, but he's a great number 2 receiver. I mean,
don't kill me for this. I think my opinion on him is a bit skewed because of like fantasy football stuff. Because there's one week he'll go like 20 points, and the next week get like 4, and next week 20 again and be 4. It's like it's so like hot and cold with him. But again, that's his fantasy stuff. So
yeah, he's not a great fantasy option, obviously. But I mean, and kind of what you just said, 1 week he's here, 1 week he's there. That's great for number 2, because that shows that Gabe Davis is sitting here picking up the slack when it needs to be picked up. If you bring in a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, now you're trying to split one football 3 different ways or 2 different ways. Because Stephon Diggs needs to get his touches and needs to get his catches. Oh my God, did you just have an earthquake?
Dude, I just tornado kicked the fuck out of my table.
I didn't know if you had an earthquake when your corgi dropped its dump truck of an ass on the ground.
Right. I'm going to move this chair out the way. Here we go.
All right. You good? You sit over there? You're fine?
Oh, man. Something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like Stephon Diggs is going to need to get his touches. If you're sitting here now trying to feed 2 mouths with 1 football, it's just, I don't see how that would necessarily work out in the best long term. But again, I think I just really kind of wonder, why not just sit here and make that call? And they've openly admitted, like, the run game is our biggest weakness. We need to fix our run game. We need to get this. Like, so why not just make that call? Get Saquon, get Josh. There's so many Here's another one, Jonathan Taylor. Why not call Indianapolis right now and say, hey, I know you say you weren't going to trade him, but 2 firsts. We'll take him off your hands.
Something.
I think
money's probably the biggest issue right now for them.
I know, but the way the contracts work with these teams, again, that's why I said it's not a great long-term strategy. Like, I'm not sitting here saying, like, you can do this and you'll be fine. But there's a way you can work the deal to where he costs $4 million this year, but then you have 3 dead years of having to pay that out. And sure, it's going to hurt for those 3 years that you're paying this guy that maybe isn't on the roster, isn't worth the money, or you had to lose, a Gabe Davis, or you had to lose one of your other depth pieces. For sure, there's going to be consequences to it. I'm not saying I'm not living in fairy tale land here, but I'm saying if it gets you that Super Bowl, isn't it worth it? To finally get the validation after all these years.
Yeah, that's fair.